Welcome to This Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled about our focus today because we're looking at a literal, real-world roadmap. If you've got this deep-seated passion for history, humanities, and culture, and you've been wondering, how on earth do I turn this into an actual, viable career? Well, you are in the exact right place. Today, we're diving straight into the career journey of an art historian. We're going to break down the whole shebang, from the specific personality traits you need, right through to your educational pathways, expected income, and the seriously dynamic places you might end up working.
So here is our roadmap for today. 1. The art historian defined. 2. Do you have the traits? 3. Mapping your educational pathway. 4. Career growth and workplaces. And 5. A real-world example. Let's get into it.
Section 1, the art historian defined. Okay, first things first, we really need to shatter this misconception of the art historian as just some passive observer looking at old paintings. According to our data, these are highly skilled professionals who are out there actively shaping our cultural landscape. They act as curators, teachers, critics, and advisors. They literally help decide what pieces make the cut for a museum's collection. They dig deep into the historical significance of visual arts and figure out exactly how these pieces fit into the broader cultural puzzle of their time. And honestly, the scope of their work is just massive. Their analysis isn't boxed into just one medium. They're out there decoding the cultural DNA behind paintings, sculptures, and, yeah, even architecture. They are essentially specialized researchers, gathering knowledge about human expression from the dawn of time. Section 2, do you have the traits? So, I've got to ask you directly. Do you actually have what it takes for this journey? Because diving into the depths of visual culture requires a pretty unique mix of creativity and hard logic. You might picture an art historian locked away all alone in some dusty archive. But the reality? Totally different. Yes, you absolutely need a creative bent of mind and sharp analytical skills to decode complex artwork. But look at those other 2 points. Good communication skills and being comfortable working in a team. Whether you're advising a bustling gallery, leading a class, or collaborating on a massive museum exhibit, this is a hugely collaborative, people-focused profession. Section 3, mapping your educational pathway. All right, let's map out how you actually get there. The standard chronological route is beautifully structured. Step 1, you kick things off by completing your 10+2, ideally in humanities. Step 2, you grab that bachelor's degree. We're looking at a BA in fine arts or other social sciences. Step 3 is where you specialize, following up with a master's degree in allied subjects. And hey, if you really want to push the envelope in research or academia, you can keep going and snag a PhD. Actually, if you don't want to go the traditional master's route, our data highlights a fantastic alternative. You could jump into a postgraduate diploma specifically in museology and history of Indian arts. It's a super targeted, specialized way to break into the field. Now get this. Here is something that might genuinely surprise you. The estimated course fee for this entire educational pathway ranges from roughly $3,000 to 1.50 million Indian rupees, varying from institute to institute. When you think about the doors this opens, that is a massive return on investment. It's an incredibly accessible path. And it gets better because financial friction doesn't have to be a roadblock at all. There are some really robust funding options out there. Looking for scholarships? The National Scholarship Portal, UGC, or Institute Merit Awards have your back. Need a loan? The government's Vidya Lakshmi portal is a total lifesaver. Plus, certain states, like West Bengal, Odisha, and Bihar, offer student credit cards, so the funding is absolutely out there, just waiting for you. Section 4, career growth and workplaces. Okay, so where are you actually going to work? Well, you aren't boxed into just one type of environment. Graduates end up in some incredibly diverse and dynamic workplaces. Sure, you could be in the quiet, reflective halls of a museum or gallery, but you could also be right in the middle of a high-stakes, fast-paced auction house. No way, right? You might manage government library archives, teach, or work with publishers. Standard deal applies. You're looking at an 8 to 9 hour workday, 5 to 6 days a week. Oh, and the data notes? This field has wonderful opportunities for differently abled individuals, making it a really inclusive space. To ground our expectations a bit, the approximate starting salary for an art historian ranges between 19,000 and 22,000 Indian rupees a month. Now, keep in mind that's strictly an entry-level figure. It's just your launch pad. And from that foundation, you've got some very clear paths upwards. Here's how it generally plays out in the industry sector. You usually start off as a trainee. As you get some reps in and prove your analytical chops, you bump up to a full-fledged art historian. And eventually, you can rise to senior art historian, calling the shots on major projects and collections. Or, if you decide to go the educational route, your structured climb looks a little different. You'd start as a lecturer, work your way up to assistant professor, and ultimately hit that associate professor role. Both paths give you a really logical, steady trajectory for advancement.
Section 5. A real-world example.
Let's look at someone who actually did this. Our source highlights the amazing career of Arshia Lokhandwala. She is an art historian, a curator, and she actually founded the Lakran Art Gallery in Mumbai. It just goes to show the heights you can reach in this field. You can literally start your own gallery.
And notice something interesting about her educational journey, because it ties right back to what we discussed earlier. She didn't even start in fine arts. She got her BA and MA in sociology back in 1986 and 1991, which proves that broader social science degrees are totally valid starting points. From there, she snagged the prestigious Charles Wallace India Trust Award in 2001, got an MA in creative curating at Goldsmiths College in London, and today she's on the curatorial committee for the Arts Pension Trust. Talk about a perfect example of leveraging a foundational education into global recognition. Bringing it all together. Whether you go to a government institute like Jamia Millia Islamia, a private university like Symbiosis, or even do distance learning through IGNOU, the destination is totally clear. The pathways, the funding, the dynamic workplaces, and the success stories, they all point toward a career that is highly attainable and deeply fulfilling. We have walked through the traits, the education, the financial realities, and those incredible workplaces. So, my final question to you is this. Armed with this roadmap, are you ready to step out of the audience and start actively shaping our culture? The canvas is waiting. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope this gives you the spark to start your own journey.